Welcome to another segment of Potpourri. I'm your host, Ariel Benton. And today's guest, we have with us writer, director, and producer, LABonds. Welcome to the set.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. You look beautiful in this blue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we're so excited to hear about your work on this new production that you have. But I always like to know a little background detail about my guests. So could you please give us a brief bio of yourself?
Okay, sure, absolutely. I am a playwright as well as a screenwriter. I write films and stage plays, contemporary films and theater stage plays. My studio is located in the heart of Atlanta. I've been writing, probably, I want to give a good date, 2005. My studio has been open since 2009. I have been on various amount of projects since I was 19. So I don't want to go back too far, but I've been doing this for a long time.
Wow. So this is sort of a passion of yours then?
Yes, it is. It is. From a little girl, I've actually went to performing arts school as a child. So I grew up in that theater background, and so I had a lot of experience backstage.
So did you enjoy that backstage feel? Or,
yes.
Because I know a lot of people with that background want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. Oh no, I never desired to be in front of the camera, ever desired to be in front of the camera. I'm nervous now.
Well, you all are the brains behind everything, definitely. You all are the pieces that keep the puzzle together.
Yeah.
Of course, you have great actors and actresses, but without those writers and, those thinkers, there wouldn't be great masterpieces like there are today.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about God Did It?
Well, God Did It is my current production. It premieres at the College Park Auditorium this Saturday, which is November 17th. We have an amazing cast. Can I go over the cast names?
Definitely.
Yes, we have two-time Stellar nominee Terry Carroll. We have Cadell Irvin, Tamaya West, Ramon Cooper, Sharon Ford, Tanya Wilson, Becky Taylor, Cortland B. Tony, and Brandy Austin. So it's an amazing cast. They have been on many plays. You've seen them on television and lots of independent films. So I'm really excited about just the cast themselves, not even the story.
A dynamic cast.
Yeah, it's a dynamic cast, an all-star cast. So.
Now, I know you don't want to give it all away.
Okay.
But can you give us just a little synopsis? What can we expect from God Did It?
Well, God Did It is basically a story of a family, an African-American family that reunites after 10 years for a Thanksgiving dinner. It's almost on soul food line.
Okay.
And they come together and they talk about some things, just like any other family will come together for holidays, and there are things that you should discuss, and there's things that you should not discuss during family dinners. But they all are revealed. Secrets are revealed, lies are told, things come out into the open, and they handle them as if other families, as natural, authentic families do. And so it's a really good, it's a portrayal of how families are.
In real life.
In real life, yeah.
So it's decent, and it's right on time that it's coming out right before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And I know you're probably expecting some families to come out and see it during the holiday.
Yes, absolutely.
So how long is the show running?
The show runs, we're only doing it for one day.
One day.
Yes, one day. And the reason why we did that was because I want people to enjoy their family during the holiday, and so I wanted to make sure, because people's families are coming in early.
Right.
And so it's good to come out and see a show with your family, but to kind of kick off that holiday weekend. Week.
We kind of lose sight of Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving spirit. It's after Halloween, it jumps right into Christmas.
Yes.
And we kind of lose that holiday.
Yes.
And that's one of my favorites because
Mine
the
too.
feast
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes, yes.
So what inspired the title, God Did It?
Okay, well, God Did It, pretty much the title actually kind of came up on its own. I was in the middle of writing this show, and I had not titled it. And I was listening on Pandora to a singer, her name is Dorinda Clark Cole, and she had a song called Nobody But God. And at the end of the song, she goes into this ad lib, and it was so weird because it was like she was singing my script.
Wow.
And so right then and there, and she started saying, God did it, and I don't want to sing, but she started singing that, and this is the title. God did
Wow.
it. It has to be the title because how coincidental is this? So
So it definitely came right on
right
time.
on time, and so it named itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Dorinda, if you're
Yes.
watching.
Thank you.
Thank you for that song. So also, I know you mentioned that family is the centerpiece of your production, and then you did mention God Did It as the title and the inspiration. So can you tell us about this connection between family and faith?
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for asking that question because even and it also ties into love and thankfulness because when you keep God and your faith as the foundation of your family, it helps it strive. You can't you have to have some type of center ground because life brings you all types of things. Kids have school, parents have
Definitely.
their career paths, and then you have your extracurricular things. But if you don't have a foundation, you don't have anything. And so with this play, I wanted to portray that as authentic as I could.
So with these different characters, have you noticed that they've kind of formed a different family on set?
Yes. Speaking of which, we had a dynamic rehearsal last night at the studio, and it overwhelmed me with joy because when I was looking around, I noticed how much of a bond we've had, over these past months just in rehearsal, and so it's beautiful because we have a whole nother family. God, we're like a real family. Like, how the kids,
Yeah.
where the babies at, type thing.
Definitely.
Let's go eat,
And that's something you expect.
Yes.
I know as a theater.
We spend hours together. We
you know-
spend hours together.
You have
Hours.
to. If you didn't grow by now, if you
Yeah.
didn't grow a bond together by now, something's not right.
Yes, yes. And
I
the chemistry
understand.
of the cast is amazing. It's so organic. You'll think that on this Saturday, you're gonna think that they are family.
Now, my biggest question though,
Okay.
you mentioned food. You mentioned that it's a Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Will real food be served on that stage?
Yes, it will. It's provided by Big Daddy's Dish. Actually, the restaurant is in College Park, so it's real
Wow.
food, real soul food. Hopefully they can cope.
Right.
Deal with it on stage and not get so comfortable.
Right.
Yes.
I know the audience is going to be overwhelmed by the smells.
Yes.
Well, I'm very excited for your debut of God Did It.
Yes.
So can you just kind of tell us a little bit more about your history in the theater and in writing, period, as far as you sitting down to actually come up with a collection of thoughts to put on stage?
Okay, absolutely. My background goes back to school. Area E Academy of Fine and Performing Arts is where I went to school in Detroit, Michigan. That's where I'm from.
Okay.
I began writing and doing lots of camera operation, stage management there. In 2006, David E. Talbert took me up under his wings, and I am his mentee. And so I've been his. He's mentored me since then.
Oh, wow.
For a very long time. I've been very fortunate to have that close relationship with him, as well as Vanessa Lynn, who is out of Detroit, Michigan. She's also a playwright, and so that background helped guide me when my creative process does come in, because it rarely comes in. Lots of people don't understand that writing is not something that you could just do.
Right.
Writing is something that you have to be inspired to do, and there's situations sometimes that inspire me. Sometimes it's observations. I can be in the middle of doing something and all of a sudden I have a writing mode and that clicks in, and now I can write for hours and hours and kick out as many plays or films that I need to. And then there's a moment sometimes where I don't have anything, and I never like to push when I don't have any type of creative juice.
Definitely. So you're fueled by some of the people that helped you guide
Yes.
this path.
Yes.
So what can you say has been the most influential experience in your life as a, I guess you would say, as a puzzle piece in this huge stage, this huge arena of theater? I know theater and entertainment, period, is so big. It's so many different avenues that you can discover and that you can, get your hands dirty with. What can you say is the most influential piece that you've learned so far? I know you're not done.
Okay. What mostly influences me is everyday life. Everyday life influences me. My friends, my family, things I even go through myself, the people that I know. The observation of those things, I really live off of observation. And it doesn't matter even of a McDonald's. I observe. And so that influences me. Nothing else but that influence from everyday life.
Everyday life.
Everyday life.
And
because that's what people want to see. It helps connect. It helps relate.
I agree. That's something that I would want all actors and actresses to realize. Acting is not imitating.
No.
It's reacting the way you would
in
everyday life.
Yes, yes.
So this play is really going to encompass some things that people do go through in their everyday lives if they're hiding from one another. The people that love them the most and who are going to love them today and tomorrow no matter what.
Yes.
Your play is going to emphasize those bonds.
Yes.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm so ready to see God did it.
Me too.
And I hope you all are ready to see it as well. Like she said, it's opening this Saturday in College Park Amphitheater. So make sure you're out there to check it out. Now, we're going to take a break just briefly, but when we return, more with LABonds.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
There's nothing like a Thanksgiving holiday
No such thing as cooking too much food for your family.
to make you want to come home. And nothing like your family
Mama Kay, we're just asking that the Lord bless us with a marriage like you and Papa Larry.
to make you wish
Thank you, baby. That's so nice.
you had. And this holiday is the reason why. Secrets are revealed.
Not who y'all think I am. I'm not, and neither was your daddy.
What?
What are you saying then, Mama?
That a marriage is designed to be a ministry. Look, why don't you just
Enough of what the Bible says.
Baby, why do we have to keep doing this? We're getting married.
Love is a question. Lies told. Absolutely anything is bound to happen this year. And who's to say if God will change each situation or leave it the way it is? LABonds presents God.
Welcome back. Now, when we last left off, we were hearing about how family can fuel your faith. And now we're going to return with LABonds about more about her experience as a writer and in her Christian journey. Now, LA, I love the name, first of all. God did it.
Yes.
That's powerful.
It is.
It says, it speaks volumes.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of people don't take that as serious as they should when you want something achieved, when you want something done, I know people of faith have someone to look to, and your ultimate help, Christians believe that ultimate help is from above.
Yes, it is.
And so that title just says a lot to a people that are looking for help.
Yes.
So how did you come up with this theme? Did anything in your background influence the themes that you've been writing about recently?
Yes, actually, God did it is pretty much some parts of my life. There are situations that I have went through, and I didn't know where to turn, how things would turn out. And all of a sudden, after prayer and fasting, things like that, and working my faith, they happened. And really concluded that God did that, because I had no part in it, no part in the, the resolution or anything. And so, yes, very personal.
And that, like I said, that title, with you saying that you got it after hearing a song, you were just ministering to yourself.
Yes, yes.
So can you tell us about your background as a Christian, how that has influenced your life and impact you, and to become the woman that you are today?
Okay. Well, raised as a pastor's daughter, I am a pastor's daughter.
PK.
Yes, I am. I am a PK. And so faith has been installed in me for a long time, since I was a young girl. And so I learned early to exercise my faith by believing and being optimistic in God, and thinking positively about situations. God has really helped me to understand that everything doesn't have to happen on my time. Mm-hmm. He's very on time. He's very correct, and the things that sometimes that I may feel I need is not what I need. Mm-hmm. And so I've learned to step back, trust. I do get stressed out sometimes, because that's what most Christians do. Because we're natural, we're humans, mm-hmm. But I try my best not to be fearful, and I go ahead and relay my trust on God.
Now, you said something very powerful there. You said we're human.
We are.
And that's something that we need to realize. We're not going to be perfect.
Yes.
And even though, we like to point the blame at others, we have to look in the mirror at ourselves. Yes. We're not perfect.
We're not.
We're going to make mistakes, but there's somebody who's going to forgive whatever that we do.
Yes.
And what you're trying to emphasize, and God did, is that your family is supposed to do that as well.
Yes.
Forgive and forget.
Yes. Unforgiveness actually is unhealthy. Studies have proven that people who have heart attacks and different things like that have some sort of deep-rooted unforgiveness in their heart. And so, not saying everyone, but it has even a health connection. Mm. Forgiving is beneficial all around for you.
And Thanksgiving, mm-hmm. like we mentioned earlier, this holiday is kind of centered, and I was a little greedy, and I'm a little guilty in that as well, centered around the food. Mm-hmm. You go out and you buy a lot of food that you're not going to finish in one night.
No.
But we kind of lose. We try, but we kind of lose sight of the meaning behind that. I know my family. We gather at either my grandma's house or one of the elders of the family. We gather at their house, and before we eat, and we're ready to dig in, mm-hmm. we stand up. My great-grandmother would conduct us to say a thank you. What are you thankful for?
What are you thankful for?
We hold hands and we say what we're thankful for. Even the little children.
Yes.
If they can talk.
Yes.
What are you thankful for? And then we sum it up with prayer.
Yes.
And blessing of the food. And I think that's something essential. We wait until that day to be thankful, to think back on what we're thankful for, and we shouldn't wait.
No.
It's at the end of the year.
Yes.
We don't need to wait that long. We can
very
say
good,
it every day, every minute of every day.
Every day.
Because there's always something to be thankful for.
Always.
So your walk in this faith, how has that been for you? You said it started as a young child, of course, you being a daughter of a pastor. Did your church influence you? I know some people are dealing with this identity crisis within their churches. They don't know if a church is where they belong. Mm-hmm. And I often tell people, it's okay to have a church home, and it's okay to be spiritual and be able to conduct your own ministries in your own time. But ultimately, you need to have people around you, like he said, 2 or 3 are gathered,
Yes.
he'll be in the midst.
Yes.
You can praise in your own time, but you need somebody else to kind of convene with that can teach you something.
Yes.
That can open up something that you never knew.
Yes, the Bible says to forsake not the fellowship of others, and what that means is to come together. It's best. That's to reinstate what you said, when 2 or 3 are, and it's not just to pray, it's just also to encourage sometimes, to inspire, because sometimes what I've went through and I've learned from, you may just not be going through, and I can help you and say and encourage you in a direction that uplifts you and gives you more hope. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just for prayer benefit, for us to get that prayer up to the Lord. Sometimes it's for us to comfort each other, to encourage each other, and to give each other a new level of hope.
So are your practices like this at all? Your rehearsals, with you ministering?
Yes.
Do you minister and then direct?
Yes, or sometimes it's either way, sometimes vice versa. But even last night at rehearsal, we did a full 40 minutes of prayer at the end, because there's so many lives that are affected by this one show. Because even the characters, their depictions, the way how the characters are displayed. People go through these things that are in the situations that are in this show, and so we have to stay grounded in the Word, in the Lord, and remember that we are not only performing, but we are ministering to our audience. And so yesterday we had 40 minutes of prayer, and when I tell you it was powerful, I was in tears.
Wow!
By
Listen
the end.
to you from the stage to the pulpit.
That's a show.
Look, feel free to use it, 10%.
Okay.
But that sounds really good, and I'm really excited to know that your cast has been kind of embodied these people.
They're anointed. They're anointed. Yes, they're anointed. I said, oh yeah, you're an actor, but you're anointed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you have a hand in picking the casting?
I picked this cast personally by myself. Some people for this show actually auditioned 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh wow!
I never forget. I never forget auditions.
And that's a wonderful quality of a director. Never forget.
Yes.
Well, please don't forget me.
Okay.
Especially when you use that stage name.
Okay.
But this has been a wonderful talk. I'm really enjoying it. Now, I have to mention the recent election that we had, President Obama getting another 4 years, which has been kind of a big thing for America, because of course he's our first African American president.
Yes.
But this second go round was a little bumpy.
Yes.
We hit a lot of speed bumps with church and government. They kind of, clashed a lot during the debates. And just during the campaigning. How do you feel that has impacted us as a country?
Well, church and government has really went its own route. But one thing I love is that the fact that I still use a dollar bill that says "In God We Trust." Lots of things don't faze me until when I look at this, I said, well, God is in how I spend my money. And so, I keep that. And so that's government and church and spirituality in one registered document. So
yes.
I keep that in mind. That's at least where my glue is. But to mention what you're talking about, I'm very happy that even as a Republican, I'm happy that President Obama is in the office, because he's very grounded. And I love his stance and everything that he has done for this country so far. And I know he's going to be pulling continuously for us to become more united as a country.
Definitely. I think a country's vision, a president of a country, his or her vision should always be the unity in that country.
And I think that's what he's definitely brought us together on lots of things. We've set record numbers in many states, even for voting. And so that shows proof that we are coming together, especially even the races of all, because it's a big deal sometimes even with some people to have an African American president in. But it's, he's brought us together in such a great glue bond, and I know these next 4 years we're gonna see some powerful and great things.
Definitely. It's good to hear that you're looking forward to the future because you have a bright one ahead of you.
Thank you.
Definitely. I'm so excited to hear about this production, and I want to know if some of these controversial issues will come up into play, but I don't want to be the spoiler.
No.
So I'm gonna sit on that question. But you were definitely inspiring.
Thank you.
Definitely, just to start where you started. You just asked for help.
Yes.
And these people who are big names in the theater industry decided, yes, I'll help you.
Yes.
And look where you are today.
Yes, and I do the same now myself. I mentee individuals. As a matter of fact, I have a lady from Detroit, Michigan that just flew out Sunday for her mentorship to start today.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
What a blessing.
Yes.
So you're taking it back home.
Yes.
Trying to pay it forward.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Now, we do need more individuals like yourself, especially impactful Black women like you, to just take a lead and say, I'll help you.
Yes.
Turn back around and grab a hand.
Yes.
Because we see so many of us.
Yes.
We'll make it and
Forget.
that's it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We leave everything else alone. We kind of turn our backs on it, but I see that you are deeply rooted in this giving back, this connection to family.
Yes, well, also the mission of LABonds Studios, which is our production company, is reaching people and changing lives. It's not always about film. We give back. As a matter of fact, for this show, the God Did It, partial proceeds go to Trinity Outreach Organization, who've been established since 2009. They have feed the homeless every month and sheltered them, as well as clothed them for jobs and different things. So we're giving back to them also for this show. So partial proceeds for that is played in this show as well.
Wonderful. And
Yes.
can you tell us where we can find more information? Because I want all the viewers to go out and see this dynamic stage production. So can you tell us where can we find more information and who all is involved? I know you mentioned the restaurant, this catering.
Yes. Okay. For more information about God Did It, you can go online to www.goddidit.eventbrite.com for ticket purchases, as well as for more information and direction, and as well as you can visit our charity that we will be giving to at www.trinityonline.org.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
And I have sponsors too. Can I mention them?
Definitely.
Yes, thank you. We are presented by State Farm, as well as Exclusive Hair Salon, Annika's Butter, Sweet Air Cosmetics, as well as Big Daddy's Dish.
Wonderful. So you have everybody there ready to go, from head to toe to your stomach.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You were a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
And I see nothing but the best happening for you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in. Again, our guest today was LABonds, the writer, producer, director, lover of all mankind, the one and only LABonds. So I'd like to thank you again for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Have a good one.